All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And on today's video, we're doing something a little bit different. I do not have my project car yet, but I promised you guys that I would be uploading every week until I get that. So that's what we're doing. So these videos might be a little bit different than what you've seen on this channel before. But anyways, today's video, we're gonna be going over 5 of my favorite and most useful tools to have when you're working on your car. So I know these are kind of just more basic tools, but when I first started working on my Integra, I didn't have these. I was using just basic hand tools, you know, ratchets, wrenches, stuff like that. And this stuff definitely helps with just all different sorts of things. So if you're just starting to work on your car like I was a couple years ago, or if you're just looking to add some more tools to your toolbox, then these are some that you should consider. Now, to be honest, if you've been working on cars long enough, you're probably gonna have all these, but you know, like I said, if you're just getting into it, these are some really useful ones and ones you should consider. So let's just go ahead and jump straight into this with the first one. Now, the first one we got here is a oil filter remover. Now, there's a couple different styles of this. There's like this one. I know some people have like the chain ones or the belts, but this is the one I bought. All of them work just the same, but I bought this one. So basically how this works is you attach a ratchet on the back of this at 3/8, and when you're loosening, it actually tightens it. So it tightens around the oil filter and it screws off a lot easier. So definitely a really useful tool. I've had times where I'm under there, I can't get it no matter what, and I'm down there poking a hole in the thing with a screwdriver and trying to get it out. But this definitely saves time and energy, and it just avoids all the hassle of doing that. So overall, a pretty basic tool, but if you do not have one, you might want to consider picking one up. Now, moving on into the second thing here is a impact gun. Now, this is the most useful thing I think I've ever bought when working on my cars. It saves so much time, and it actually helps too, because sometimes, you know, you get in there with a ratchet, you can't really move it too much, so you get some extensions, you know, go from a different angle, and you can get it out pretty easily. Now, this one isn't very powerful. This one has been able to take off the lug nuts on my Integra, but it really does struggle. It's not really meant for that. It's meant for like smaller stuff. I used it to replace the valve cover gaskets, stuff like that. Now, before I bought this, I was actually gonna get a air compressor and, you know, the air one, but this is actually really great. The electric is amazing, and they just keep coming out with new ones. And I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably do all your tools with just electric and get rid of the air system completely. But overall, just a really useful tool and one that I recommend to you guys. Now, moving on into number 3 here is the OBD2 Scanner. Now, before I actually bought this, I kept having to call my friends or go down to AutoZone or whatever and get it checked. After a while, I was like, why don't I just buy my own? I could have it around the house, have it for my family, everything like that. So it is super useful. It's quick. You know, you bring it out there, you have a check engine, like you can check it real quick, clear the codes. You don't have to keep driving to your friend's house or AutoZone or stuff like that. Now, I believe this one was pretty cheap. I'm not sure how cheap it was, but it was in the range of like, it's still a good scanner, but it's not like the best of the best, but it's not a complete piece of junk. So definitely a really useful tool. And if you don't already have a OBD2 scanner, this one is one that you might want to consider. Now, moving on into the final 2 tools here. I know what you're saying. These are just ridiculous. Like, why is he even putting them in this video? But let me tell you, these things really do save you so much time and energy. I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to break stuff loose with just a basic ratchet and a little pull on the end, and then the ratchet ends up breaking, and then it's no fun. So go out, buy a breaker bar for a couple dollars. I think I paid maybe $15 for this one at Harbor Freight. Definitely a very useful tool, and it'll definitely save you from hurting yourself and just straining yourself unnecessarily just using a little ratchet or whatever. So this one, I believe, is it's like 2.5 feet, I think, and like I said, I paid about $15 for it. I think they even sell bigger ones than this, but this is the 1/2-inch one. So breaker bar is a must in a toolbox if you don't have one. The whole pull method on a ratchet just isn't ideal, and you're gonna end up hurting yourself most likely. So, I mean, sometimes you even throw a pull on the end of the breaker bar, don't get me wrong, but this doesn't have teeth, a ratchet does, and you know, if you're using a cheaper ratchet, then it's gonna probably break. So you don't want to mess with that. It's very useful. Now, a pry bar is another one that I've used multiple times. As you can see, it's all chipped away and stuff. So I've definitely used this a fair amount. But you'd be surprised with how many things you actually need a pry bar for. This one actually is relatively small. I think it's only about 1 foot long from here to here. But they definitely sell bigger ones, but this is the one I have. And I've gotten a lot of stuff done with this. It helped me tons when I was pulling out my engine and my Integras. So a basic tool, but if you don't already have one, you may as well go pick one up. You're gonna need it at some point if you're doing some bigger jobs on your car. I think this one was about 12 or 13 bucks as well. It's really not too expensive, and it's really useful. So yeah, guys, that is 5 of my most useful tools and the ones that I basically consistently use when I'm working on cars. So if you saw something in this video that you don't already have in your toolbox, you might want to consider picking it up if you're going to be working on your car a lot. Now, I know I'm talking to a lot of people that have already been working on their cars for years and years, and they probably already have all this stuff. But if you are new and you're starting a new project car or whatever, these are definitely tools that I suggest you get. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was something a little bit different, but I wanted to do, like I said, a video each week. Not sure what the next video is going to be. Still looking for a car. We'll see where that goes. But thank you for all the people that actually have stuck around. I know I've just left you hanging for like, you know, months and months and months. So finally trying to get back on the grind. So leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're not already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out, guys.